Deputy Charlie McConalogue has the next question.
Minister, this is to ask you, when a decision on a preferred new site for a three-school college campus, Crana College campus in Buncrana, County Donegal, will be made, the reason for the delay in securing a site, and if you will update us in progress.
As the Deputy is aware, a technical inspection of a significant number of potential site options for the school accommodation to which he refers has been conducted by officials from my department, working with officials from Donegal County Council. My officials are currently considering the findings of this assessment, and with the assistance of the local authority are clarifying technical issues raised with a view to ensuring that a preferred site option can be advanced as soon as possible. The Deputy will appreciate the importance of a thorough appraisal of site options in order to ensure the achievement of value for money. The complexity of the issues associated with the development of the site options are under consideration, combined with competing demands on our department's resources, has meant that the appraisal has not been finalised. Once all the options have been fully appraised, my officials will advance the acquisition of a preferred site for the school accommodation.
Deputy Charlie McConalogue.
As Minister English and Minister Sullivan will know, the three-school Crana College campus, proposed college campus in Buncrana, is to facilitate the current Crana College secondary school, which is over 500 students and currently has over 11 prefabs on site, and it's not possible to actually turn those prefabs into permanent accommodation because the site doesn't have the capacity for further development. Also then, we have Buncrana Gael School, which was established in 1999 and has grown from strength to strength, and is currently accommodated in Buncrana Youth Club and has over 180 students. And the other school is College of Kinyaloan, the only second-level Gael school in Donegal, which is currently being housed in Tullyarvin Mill as well. But Minister, 2 days from today will be exactly a year to the day when I raised this issue here on the floor of the Dáil, and Minister O'Sullivan responded to me on that occasion. And, in fact, the response I got from her on that day was more positive than what we received today. It's bad enough, Minister English, when a project is standing still. It's worse again when you seem to be going backwards. This time, a year ago, Minister O'Sullivan indicated to me that it was her feedback and her information that there had been a site identified. Today, 1 year later, we are only, according to your response, at the situation of actually still assessing numerous sites. We need, Minister, to progress this quickly, and it's unacceptable that we have a situation here where it is simply not moving forward. And you might update me, please, in your response. Why have we gone no further forward?
Thank you.
And when, Minister, can we expect to see a site purchased so we can actually start to progress this project?
Minister.
Just to be clear, there has been a significant number of potential site options were identified by the local authority. That is the duty of the authority to provide those site options. The department have investigated them all. The technical assessment were required to be on site. There are very complex issues involved in most of the sites as well. And very often it's the case that, yes, a preferred site can be identified and it can change after you look at other options. That's quite likely what has happened here. So it is a slow process. But I think the idea here is, because I think, and I've met some of the parents involved who hope to be on this new site, it is important that we get the right site, and one that won't get stuck in planning problems down the line, that won't get delayed elsewhere. I mean, the funding wasn't there to build a school on the current 5-year plan because it wasn't deemed a priority area in relation to demographic demand. That assessment for the next construction plan is underway, and demographics have been looked at in every area, and you're saying how important it is. Our unit in the Department of Education are looking at that, and they'll make recommendations of the key and priority areas. So separate to that, and prior to that, is all this work has to go on to identify the best site, and the best site for all the reasons, and that does take time. You then ask in relation to how long will the process take. As I said, it is a complex process, and it's subject to the completion of successful negotiation and conveyancing processes. Therefore, given the complexities involved, it is not possible to give a definite time frame for the completion of the acquisition, but my officials will endeavour to bring the process to a conclusion as soon as possible. I mean, I think everyone wants to pick this site so the planning can continue with it, and there will be no delay when the site is picked.
Thank you.
But it is important to get it right.
Deputy Charlie McConalogue.
Thank you, Leslie. Minister, the process is no more complex than what you and the department are actually making it. You're saying in your response that, yes, it's going slow. Well, the reason it is going slow, Minister, is because of the way you have handled it. First of all, the department asked Donegal ETB to identify possible sites and to recommend one. When they came back and had that process concluded, you decided to start all over again and ask Donegal County Council to do the job instead. That's your fault, Minister. That's your doing and your lack of organisation that has led to these delays and has led to it being complex. If the department and both ministers here had their act together in this, then you should have had whoever you wanted involved from the outset, whether that be Donegal County Council and the ETB, doing parallel assessments. In fact, Donegal ETB, in doing their assessment, worked very closely with Donegal County Council. But you have went back to the start here. It's the department and the ministers and the government which are stalling this project.
Thank you, Deputy.
And, Minister, we need to see it actually progressed. Unfortunately, time is running out on the necessary leadership required from this government, because we've only 3 or 4 months left. But the staff, the students and the parents of these three schools, Minister, are the ones who are suffering the daily frustration of working in sites which are not purpose-built schools.
Thank you.
So can I ask you, please, moving on from today, that we actually see real progress in this, and we can actually see the work completed at a preferred site identified, and the department move to actually purchase it, so we can see the project progress rather than go backwards, as we've unfortunately seen
Minister,
over the last 12 months.
Minister.
Just in relation to the time involved, I stress here, and we've had other questions on policy time in relation to other planning matters as well. It is important that the right site is picked. And I'll say it straight, previous administrations have not done that correctly. So it is right that the County Council are fully involved in picking the site. And I will not apologise for that. That is the reform we put in place. That's the way it should always have been. That's not the way it was always been. So when this site is picked, it will be the right site. And that means then that it won't get delayed at other stages. It means we'll be able to access the site, have the infrastructure for the site, the right site for all involved and all stakeholders involved. Because I've seen it before on the previous administrations when sites were picked for the wrong reasons, and then were left there for 10, 15 years, stuck in planning and stuck with roads and so on. That's not the way to do business. So it is right that Donegal County Council have a leading role in picking the site with our department, and the right site will be picked and then developed. And again, I said to you, we now appraise the demographics of all these areas and prioritise what schools are urgent, what schools are not urgent. So that is why we've managed to correct the urgency when it comes to providing spaces for children who want to attend primary school. The mess that was left behind by other administration, correct it, because we now have a proper way of doing planning. It might be a little bit slow in the early stages, but it catches up then because the right side is picked.
Come out, Minister. Thank you, Mr.